Ahoy, ya mateys, and welcome aboard. I'm Rattledy Bones, and today I got a video that's gonna rattle your bones. So avast, ya mateys, because I got ya a smorgasbord of creeps today. We're of course gonna be talking about the Tomato Universe and his new kill list. We're gonna be talking about where Cyrax is right now and where he poked his ugly head out from. And of course, you know I have to give you an update on Mr. Anissa and her wife, Idubs. So before we lay anchor and your Captain Rattle rants about creeps online, let me give you a brief update on what's going on. Our channel has reached 200 subscribers, and I could not be happier so far. Our goal is 500, so we only need 3 more, mateys. Just 3 more people to join our hardy crew does not seem like so much of a big task anymore. We've grown and we've gotten a lot of people to support our cause, and it is good to know that people still love a good pirate on the seas. So if you want to be a pirate on the seas and give no cares about someone's knees, then join your Captain Rattle and his bony crew, and we'll be off in our many adventures talking about weirdos online and the things that go bump in the night. So without further ado, let's jump into this big old pot of nasty. So allow your Captain Rattle to give you what you want most. So of course we're going to start off with Idubs and his husband Anissa. What have they been doing lately? Well, nothing significant, though there are little cracks in the perfect palace they have created that we're going to be poking and prodding at today. So, what happened to Idubs? Where do we even see him last? Well, if you remember my last video, Cuck the Magic Dragon, we talked about how Idubs was using a VTuber model of a dragon to make fun of people and call other people PDF files that hurt their own children. And of course, you know Anissa being the imp, I guess, in this little fantasy feud, come on again and call people like Ethan Klein PDF files and so on and so forth. Basically spreading misinformation and hating online from behind a VTuber. Which, if you're only a VTuber, that's fine because you haven't shown your face. But you're known cuck Idubs. This is kind of weird to hide behind a VTuber model and start slinging accusations at people. Well, if that wasn't enough, mateys, of course you know that they are now begging for money online. They're always doing their streams to about 10 people each, and we've known this for a while, and we've also known that anyone watching them isn't a Idubs or Anissa fan. And if you are an Idubs and Anissa fan in the big 2-6, then my bones ain't rattled enough. But anyhow, as they're usual begging for money and always on streams because they're broke, we are on the assumption that Creator Clash set them up pretty, especially after selling it or whatever happened with the end of that debacle. But apparently not, as ultimately, as you would see, they are still begging for the money. So the newest headline comes into play when Anissa posted a Facebook Marketplace item, which is just a Gucci bag she's trying to get rid of. In the description, she talks about how she's just a bag she doesn't reach for and she's just trying to get some extra cash. But they have admittedly, Idubs has admittedly said that he is broke, and why do you think he's still streaming?
Creator Clash has been it's hard and, took a huge toll on me financially. Why do you think I'm fucking streaming? You think I'm streaming because I'm set up for life? I'm not. Even though, it was a fun event and a lot of people enjoyed it, it's a little bit tough.
Viewers with a sharp eye, however, have saw that the account that was posted on there was, of course, Nissa's, but a little older one, as her background is from an old Creator Clash. However, the key point here is that her status is single. Did the cucks break up? The Mr. and Mrs. Anissa, did they part ways? Did Idubs finally get rid of that salty siren? Or is this sinking sailor taking a new low? Well, if you ask me, mateys, I have no opinion. I would assume that Anissa would leave Idubs. After all, she's constantly bashing the man on any chance she gets, whether that's live, in person, to his friends, or just to himself. She's always belittling him. So I'm not surprised if she thinks of herself as better than Mr. Idubs. Of course, that's not the case. These two people were meant for each other, just as Shani and Rev, the homeless couple. These two belong together, and they will continue to hurt each other until there is no more each other. They will die together, but not happily so. You can see it more as a curse, mateys. Some are cursed never to walk the land again. Some are cursed to always sail the seas. And Idubs is cursed to always have a terrible person in his ear, always belittling him and downplaying every one of his achievements. They say Little Caesars taste better when there's not someone in your ear nagging about how it tastes bad. I assume that's how iDubbbz's entire life is. It's one big pizza that he's trying to enjoy, but Anissa just keeps on farting on it. You know what I mean? Just keeps on stinking up his pie. And that's a sad life, mateys. All me hardy crew out there, you make sure you get yourself a partner that loves you for you. Rattle has one that loves him for his bony bones, and you should get one that loves you for your lovely tones. So I'll leave it up to you, scallywags, to decide whether or not they're actually breaking up. Now, to note, there were some comments on the Reddit and some other posts where people were saying that a lot of celebrities or OF girls or, you know, certain workers of the night will display their status as single because if not, it could deter away a market, you know, customers. I don't think that's the case here. I don't think she's getting enough money from her OF to consider something like that. I mean, considering the fact they're selling Gucci products, iDubbbz is constantly streaming and making fun of himself for clickbait and views to get a little more extra ka-ching. They're constantly garage selling and yard selling their stuff. It has come back and forth, and that's really what points my view at this, that they are in fact probably going to break up soon. That life is not all good and as it seems to be online. Where I'm coming from is I think they're actually broken up. Maybe still right now. They're just playing the board and coddling up to each other still to display this perfect act of what we did was right and we're still in the right and we're still going to talk about how people are in the wrong for not following us. However, what we did led us to this point. And again, I think they're separated. So that's just me, mateys. I would like to hear your opinions about it, but I think they're separated and they're keeping together to make it look good in the limelight. But really, never looked good in the limelight to begin with, so I don't know what they're trying to hide. So maybe you got me there. Maybe you got me there.
Much! Thank you. Oh my god, that's fucking awesome.
Someone say thank you.
Oh! Oh! Damn!
Yeah.
That's all I have for the iDubbbz so far. They're pretty crappy, but they continue just doing stuff that's laughable, and really that makes them look even worse. And of course, you have the usual Anissa belittling Ian. That's going to happen until the day we all end. Until the seas dry up and there is no more sails to be sailed. If there's two things you can count on in this world, mateys, it's that the sun's going to explode and Anissa's going to hate her husband. It's as simple as that. Next up on the list, mateys, is of course the barnacle himself, Cyrax.
Hold on, y'all. What the fuck is going on? Oh, God. Diarrhea all over the place.
Cyrax has always been crying over the trolls and other people calling him out for being a huge PDF file because, make no mistake, mateys, this is one of the people that's most documented on YouTube for being a predator. But he'll keep denying it and saying that all the trolls that call him out for it or people that try to hold him accountable for his terrible actions are just, again, trolls or even terrorists? Lately, Cyrax, after hiding from the recent debacle he got into with his ex Cassandra, her just being a buddy troll, recording all of her calls and pretending to be with him just to get some, you know, some good laughs against him. I've already talked about my problem with buddy trolls in a few videos, so no need to rehash it here, but that's what happened. Now, a lot of the times, these lolcowlers, these nasty people, they'll hide from the trolls for a while on the internet. They'll rear their ugly heads up once and about to see if they can get away with something. This is why, like, once a year, Earl Doobie, the White Bowser, that PDF file, that's why he comes back, like, again, once a year to be high on ketamine or something bad, and then making weird videos, yet again, probably at smoking kiwi like he always does. But this is a constant resurgence for these lolcowlers. They'll try to hide a while from their stuff, from their horrible allegations, their actions, or what they have said or done, whether it's revealing yourself, like Cyrax is known to do, or targeting mother with children, like Cyrax is known to do. He is yet again hiding. Of course, though, these localers never stay away. That would be too much to ask. That'd be too nice, too easy of a job for us. So he's back again with TikTok. That's right, he made a TikTok account, and now he's trying to preach about his terrible life to get people, and probably children, to like and subscribe. Some of the things he's saying in his newest TikToks, though, is how he's going to make constant uploads and videos and vlogs, debuting his life against the trolls and some other things along with his music career and some show he's, like, working on, I guess. Typical Cyrax, though, we saw nothing of this. He made about 3 videos ranting and crying about terroristic trolls and how he's a victim of terrorism, which is not true. A lot of funny things happen against him, but that does not mean terrorism. What are the funny things, you might ask him? Captain Rattle, do tell me the funny things that happened to that barnacled Cyrax. Well, you got your wish, because a lot of the stuff is pretty dang funny. The usual USB bombs that get sent to Cyrax. This happens all the time, of course. Whether it's to his Xbox, to his computer, he will get controllers, plugins, outlets, things that will knock off his computer and his PC permanently. If you don't know what a USB bomb is, basically, you plug it into any of your electronic hardware and it kills it instantly. Whether this is a PC, Xbox, so on and so forth, it will completely nuke any electronic you have that is plugged into an outlet and right into that USB. One of my favorite examples of this also has to do with Cyrax, is the time when trolls sent him a whole Xbox, but the Xbox itself was a USB bomb. And instead of blowing up any electronics, not really blowing up, it just kills them, completely fries them so they're not usable ever again. But instead of frying any electronics or any outlets this time, he ruined his whole power. The Xbox USB bomb was targeted to wipe out his whole power. Now, it only happened for I think it was an hour or 2, maybe 3 hours. So it didn't happen for a long time, but it was pretty dang funny. And one of my favorite examples of the trolls going after Cyrax. And at the end of the day, I'm not one to indulge in people sending horrible stuff to other people's houses. But this is, again, a known PDF file. The police aren't doing anything about it. Sally, his grandmama mom, isn't doing anything about it. Not even Ed, his grandma mom boyfriend. They're doing nothing about it. They're just letting him stay up in that attic, try to talk to children as much as he can with any outlet they can give him. Whether it's caving in and giving him a new Xbox or PC, whether it's giving him access to stuff like TikTok, they will not learn their lesson. Now, at the end of the day, I don't know what 2 old people are using Wi-Fi for. My grandparents never used Wi-Fi, so I don't know why they need it so much. If I was Sally or Ed, I'd just cut it off. And if the goblin's going to go on his rants, kick him out. I mean, he's disgusting. He's just going to be homeless anyways. I mean, no care facility is going to take him in. So just kick him out already. I mean, again, he's targeting children. He's trying to make himself look like a victim on TikTok. But he is trying to cultivate a new audience to get those children talking yet again. Or if not children, then single mothers with children, as we know he loves very much. Cyrax can hide all he wants, mateys, but at the end of the day, obliged beggar is obliged beggar. Make no mistake. Enough of the barnacle and his pity parties. Let's get into the meat and potatoes, or the tomatoes. So Nova Online made a kill list recently, and it's made its rounds on the internet. And he tried to backtrack what he said, but it was there. It was called a kill list. That's what he made. So he made a kill list of a few of the mostly known YouTubers who cover him or hold him accountable for his awful actions against children. Now, he came out and said that what they're doing is spreading false information. How can it be false information if we have oodles and boodles of proof? I mean, I have 3 booty chests in me office of just proof of Nova's degeneracy. So let's go through the proof real quick before we get into the deeper parts of this. He says that we're spreading misinformation. So which part of it is misinformation? You making a podcast with a 15-year-old, you age regressing to a minor, or how about you sending CSAM and other horrible things in your Discord server full of your cultists? Now, none of that is fake. All of that is real and fact, and that would even hold up in a court. So, which part of that is spreading misinformation? Now, of course, I'm kicking the sand a little bit. Your Captain Rattle, he knows that Nova is just using this as an excuse to lead some people away from the fact that he might be an actual PDF file. But don't make no mistake, he is. I said it once, I said it twice, and I'll say it with chicken, beans, and rice. That dude had enough money, he'd be on those island files. You bet your bottom behind, mateys. So after his sad boy era, where he kept making videos of him just binge eating because he was, quote, a sad boy. Now, if you don't know, he was a sad boy because everybody called him out for being a PDF. We found out his secret P-Hub account, you know, the orange and black account. And if that wasn't the cherry on top, his cultists turned against him and started blackmailing him into doing other things like creating more Discord servers, just because they had probably ample evidence against him. Probably horrible, horrible things, as you would imagine Nova's into. So after this, he would make a list of all the YouTubers he felt wronged him and again spread misinformation. This would of course only come after his, for some reason, new trend on TikTok. It's not new, but he's bringing it up again, where he's doing WWE like headliners, like he's walking into the ring, sometimes even wearing a belt. It really seems like Nova's done being sad about it, mateys. Now, Nova Online, he's the hunter and we're the prey.
Becomes the hunted, and the hunted becomes the hunter. Every single person who has wronged me, Kiwi, Smokey, sensitive society, everyone who has made these false fucking accusations about me, I'm gonna prove them all wrong. The hunter becomes the hunted, and the hunted becomes the hunter.
So after this and that cringe, he would go ahead and make a list like I've been mentioning, and let's talk about the names on that list. But I'll give you a quick redeemer. Your Captain Rattle's not on the list, and that doesn't really make me sad. Your boy's just not infamous enough. So a lot of the list is basically YouTubers we all know, YouTubers I talk about, YouTubers you probably watch. Kiwi, Smokey, Gen Universe, Bloodspeth, but it says Fake Speth for some reason. Some other people I don't know, Saturated, I Am Large, Turkey Tom, Mayor Menace, and some other people, of course, like Sensitive Society. Shout out to me homeboys, Mayor Menace, Major Chinchilla, Kiwi and Smokey, Saturated Content, and so much more. We be doing the God's work, you mateys. So after that cringe list about people that wronged him, and a reminder, this is a grown man making a hit list about people he doesn't like, and we all know for certain that Nova's not going to walk his fat butt anywhere to any of these places to meet up with any of these people, and if he would ever realize that he was in the vicinity of one of these people, he'd probably run or cry. I mean, from the interview itself with Nova's online friend, or real-life friend, we know that he won't even look people in the eye. So how is someone who can't even look someone in the eye gonna show up? You're taking off a big bite, matey, and you ain't finna chew it, let me tell you. Even though you're good at chewing at this point, you ain't swallowing this pill. Don't be making empty threats if your mouth can't check them. So if Nova Online's cringy WWE intros and his weird edgelord talk didn't cringe your bones enough, then how about a garlic breath note? We'll fill your bones with enough cringe for us all. So again, this chubby chublord, the Chomato himself, the chubby predator, Mr. Chomo, he is now going around saying that all the information we have is apparently false. We are all spreading misinformation, that he's not a dirty degenerate PDF file, that age regresses with diaper play and other horrible, horrible acts. It seems like, in his own poor way, Nova is trying to keep up the PR on his channel to make him seem like he's a good and innocent person who's just misunderstood. But really, he's not. And let me emphasize this for you, mateys. Every time he is called out for his horrible actions, he is caught with a new Discord server full of minors, or caught doing something with minors, he always goes to the same two things. We've seen this with Discord screenshots. We've seen this with his own live streams. We've seen this a lot. It is, of course, rage baiting or clickbaiting the fact that he wants to squeeze wrist, which is terminology we use here in the Novine universe. Wherever it comes in, we always talk about squeezing wrist, because if you don't know, one day Nova got so sad he made himself a paracord noose. Not for his big fat neck, of course, for his big fat wrist instead. That's right, he made a paracord noose for his wrist. I guess he thought if he squeezed wrist, it would game end, but that's not how it works. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't expect some chubby Lardo PDF file to know that. So he's doing awful things, and he's trying to get away with it. But we all know what's going on here. You can bait the fact that you want to game end your life as much as you want, but all of us are thinking the same thing. Just listen to Nike and do it. So none of us obviously care. None of us, we're not buying into it. He's just going to keep rage baiting the fact that he wants to end his life every time he gets called out for a PDF. And really nowadays, especially with him saying he's spreading misinformation, him and Cyrax are starting to become the same person. I wouldn't be too surprised if Nova's hair starts falling out with how greasy it is, and he starts getting bedbug scabs all over his scalp. He's just a little bit away, and then his eye starts looking off into a different direction, his teeth get all messed up, he starts slurring his words, fighting his mom. He's just becoming Cyrax. One of my favorite parts, if there ever could be a favorite part about Nova Online, is the fact that Nova is all of the Lolcows mixed into one. He's a little bit of Jupiter the Hybrid, he's a little bit of Cyrax, a little bit of Tofiachu, and a little bit of Andy Ditch, all mixed in one. He's one big, glorious, nasty pile of crap. He's not worth his weight in poo, let me tell you. I hope your bones are rattled just as much as mine with all these fake accusations us YouTubers are sending Nova's way. And the fact that he has a hit list is insane. And you gotta remember, this is a grown man who lives with his mom and doesn't work. And if you don't remember, he doesn't work, he doesn't have a job right now, and he'll tell you it's because of trolls. But really, it's because he goes around telling managers that he can't work with minors. Yes, the known PDF file Nova Online is going around telling potential managers that he cannot work with minors on the same shift, while also trying to get a job at like McDonald's, which is nothing but like teenagers and adults. So that's insane. It's insane to hear, and it points to the fact that this dude is scummy. He is a PDF file. And you make no mistake, mateys, these Lolcows will surface their heads up yet again like scurvy on a ship without any citrus. It's coming for all of us, and one day, when all of us are dead, and the internet's dead, these Lolcows will still be there. And the AI will fake being trolls and still come again them. Because not even AI likes PDF files. And that's saying something, considering we all hate AI just as much as we hate these PDF Lolcowers. Bum. Speaking of AI, let me throw in a little mix into here. And I won't put it on the thumbnail. This will be a little secret between you and me, mateys. But let's talk about Leaping Lemur real quick. One of my favorite Lolcowers coming up in the mix is the Leaping Lemur. Dude does not know how to stop. And since we're speaking of AI, let's talk about his horrible AI thumbnails lately. I mean, could you get any more clickbaity? We were all hoping this dude was just at the end of his story. He Bill Cosby'd a girl that was 19, and we all made a, we all blew him up for it. He got canceled, rightfully so, for it, and we thought that was the end. But nope, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, he's still talking, he's still walking, and he's still making cringy clickbait videos with AI thumbnails to try to get as much money squeezed from this as he can. And I'm pretty sure he's still taking pot shots at Lolcows, which, brother, you're acting just like Nova at this point. Nova Online is also trying to take pot shots at Lolcowers anytime he can, while also being a PDF file. I mean, at the end of the day, Leaping Lemur was 1 or 2 years away from being exactly like the rest of them. A PDF file who can't control himself around children, and tries to use his online content to gather up a following of said crew, which is nasty. Now, I love me mateys in any age, but you ain't gonna be seeing me use my platforms for anything negative. I mean, as negative as a pirate can't get, am I right? Well, that's it for your Captain Rattles update of these nasty Lolcowers of the week. I hope your mateys enjoyed. I hope your bones are rattled. And again, we are close to our subscription goal. We just need 300 more, mateys. 300 more to join me hardy crew. And I promise to love each and every one of you. But not in the way Nova or Leaping Lemur loves their fans. No, very different. Very platonically, mateys. Very platonically. Well, again, I hope you liked my videos. I hope you give me a like, subscribe, join me hardy crew, and I'll see you in the next one. Farewell, mateys.